Now I've heard multiple stories.
But what happened, we all saw what happened, and it's pretty serious.
What is going on?
Sway, 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 sway. You really wanna take a chance, huh? These bullets turn you to a dancer. I met your bitch, she a prancer. Pick up the G like I turn you to Casper. I got the re-rock the truck.
Welcome back to my channel. If you didn't know, it's Sway. You can follow me on Instagram at _SheGonSway_. You can follow me on TikTok at SheGonSway, and you can follow me on Snapchat at Candy_Apples. Today we're going to do our first podcast episode on my YouTube channel, and this woman who's just staring at me from the side instead of the camera.
You introduced me.
So my co-host today is Ari. If you know, you know. If you don't, you won't. We're just going to have tea time. We're going to have a girl talk and smoke with me session today while we sit here and have these crazy conversations, because it's always a lot to talk about and we don't ever put nothing online. So let's see what we get into today. We got a few different topics that we might talk about. The first one that I want to bring up, Miami aliens situation. What's your view on that? How do you feel about that?
I think it's real. I watched the videos, and I don't think for a group of kids fighting, they're gonna send however many squad cars and stuff to the mall. I work at a mall. I've seen fights. They don't send that many people.
And it's like, how many times have you been to Miami before? A lot?
Yeah.
I've only been once. So it's like, I don't know how big the police response is out there in certain areas, if it's a public disturbance. So I'm not sure, But for what they were saying, for children fighting in the mall, now I've heard multiple stories. Of what was supposed to be going on in that mall that day. All the way from a portal opens to, some government shit. Like, it's just, I've heard a lot of different ideas basically about what happened.
I haven't heard the portal thing.
Yeah, so basically at first, there's the idea of like all the kids. At first they said there were a few kids.
Mm-hmm.
They said there were a few kids in the mall, and they were just causing a disturbance. And then it turned into there were a few kids that were fighting each other with sticks. And then it turned into there was a lot of kids fighting each other with sticks. And then it turned into there was a group of kids that were fighting each other with sticks and shooting fireworks. And then there's like, it's all these different stories coming up about these children fighting in the mall with some sticks. Okay,
none of those still.
They don't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Because are we talking branch sticks? Like they just went to their tree and grabbed some sticks?
The police said sticks, not firearms. So I'm guessing a twig, a branch.
So we're scared of a bunch of kids with twigs in a mall and had to call over 20-something cop cars to go out there.
First of all, there were over 50 cop cars there. So how bad does the fight have to be for that many cars to pull up?
Because I've seen it at the mall. A group of like 3 or 4 dudes with a gun got stopped by 2 security guards. No police, no nothing. So if these guys had guns on them and the kids out in Miami had sticks, it's not making sense to me.
And then it's like, there's a lot of videos of the kids running away from the mall. I don't know about you, but I didn't see nobody with sticks in their hands. They
dropped it
on
the way out.
And then coming from people who were in the mall at that point in time where it happened, everybody who was actually in the mall says that they were lying. There were no kids with sticks. Now, this is where the portal thing comes in, because there was, on this day, there were a lot of kids in the mall. So that's where all of these ideas and stories are coming from. There's a lot of teenagers in the mall that day.
Uh-huh.
So just in general, it was causing a disturbance. It's a lot of kids moving around.
Mm-hmm.
They might be doing too much and everything like that. So there was a guy that said that basically he was like, there was a lot of commotion and he heard like gunshots firing off or something. He was like, when he had turned around to look, he said he saw a teenage boy that had a thing in his hand, and he was like, he had he did something with the thing in his hand, and it's like it opened up a portal or something right there, and you know, then these beings came through, and
I need to see the security cameras.
so no security camera footage. They also stopped everybody on their way out the mall, or as much people as they could, and requested to look through their phones and ask them what they saw. They stopped almost everybody leaving that mall and asked to look through their videos on their phone and see what they saw. There was a guy who went online and talked about what happened there. He told that nobody got videos because people, you know, they were stopping everybody outside, and he said that he didn't take any videos, you know, because of what was going on and everything like that. It was even a lady that went as far as to say that, like, she tried to take a video, but it was, like, glitching, so you couldn't see it and stuff like that, because everybody's like, where the fuck is the video? Now, I saw one video online yesterday that looked kind of realistic. I'm going to see if I can find it.
I don't believe that whole no video thing, because, you know, as soon as you take a picture, it backs up to the cloud. Either to a Gmail account, an Apple cloud, a Samsung cloud.
But you ever see something in person and try to take a picture and they don't look the same?
Yeah.
So what if it's one of those type of situations?
I mean, it could be.
Because we don't know. We know that these were not humans, but we don't know what they were or who they were. There's a lot of speculation.
Do you think it was aliens or humans from a different timeline?
I think it was aliens. Now, people tried to say this initial video, people tried to say that that video was a scam and everything like that. But in actuality, I think that's one of the real videos, because the people that were around said that these things was in the mall. After everybody ran outside of the mall, they were like transporting. And they popped up in an area outside of the mall, and that's where the police tried to corner them over there. And they seemed like they wasn't phased. Now, the person who had recorded that video was just initially just recording the police response, because they stayed in a high rise or something across the street, and they saw all the cars coming down. Now, this is the video that everybody sees online, where it's like a whole bunch of cars going down the street from that person, and them scanning down and then going down to where they, you know, circle that area and everything like that. That part of the clip, like, they just looked at it, zoomed into that area a little bit, and then went around. They didn't notice that thing was walking in there. People had to slow it down and be like, what the fuck is that walking right there in the middle?
I noticed on TikTok, sometimes I like videos and it don't be there. Oh shit, what is that?
And everybody was describing them as 10 foot tall, shadowy figures.
Yeah.
Some people could see that they had eyes, but they said they looked like kind of like a hologram, or like faded and misty, but it was like a shadow. So this is the video. And these are the 3 tall beings that they're talking about. Now, I don't know if this video is real or not, but from the people talking about it and stuff like that, and the few fake videos that I did see online of people like, I was there. I saw there was a person on TikTok that put an old man's mask on and had like gloves on, and they was like, I was there at the Miami situation with the aliens, and I just so happened to get away, and I got on a bus to the other side of the world, and I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm like, people are really sitting here listening to this motherfucker.
Did you watch any of his other videos?
When it's like, he'd start a whole new TikTok page for that shit. It was like just 2 or 3 videos of him like lying. And then it's like, there was a different dude that I had seen online, which I'm pretty sure that I had liked his video too. And it was just a regular black guy. And he got on there and he was like, yo, they lying to y'all, like. And he looked tired as hell. He was like, I just got back home. I got the same clothes on from yesterday. I've been at the fucking, I think he was like, he'd been at the police station or some shit all night. They was interrogating him and asking him questions about what he saw and everything like that, because he had caught a video and deleted it. And you know, when you go into the recently deleted, it requires you to log in, and he didn't want to give him the login. And he didn't want to open it up for them. So they tried to keep him there. but not like detaining him or nothing, you know. He just wasn't cooperating, so they was trying to be extra and shit. But he basically ended up coming out and talking about it. This guy too.
I was there at the Bayside Mall with my family, and we all saw exactly what happened. Don't like pay attention to a lot of the videos that are out there. I feel like a lot of people are trying to use this for clout. But what happened, we all saw what happened, and it's pretty serious. It's been a few days, but our whole family's processing it. But I think we've kind of like accepted that we were a part of this weird experience and moment. So basically what happened was I was there with my brother Brian, my sister, and my nephew. We were looking for shoes for my nephew. And then we see a whole crowd of people outside the store just running out in a direction. So, as soon as we saw it, we were like, oh shit, what's going on? So we immediately ran out with our nephew. And we picked him up and we ran out and we followed the crowd. And then about like a few seconds later, as soon as we started running, my nephew, he's autistic, so he was pointing behind us and he was saying blankie, which he'll usually say whenever he feels unsafe or scared. And he was pointing behind us. So me and my brother, we look behind us and then we see these 3, 9, 10-foot tall creatures. I'm not gonna say aliens. Everyone keeps saying it's aliens. I'm not saying aliens because I don't know what it was. None of us really knew everyone. All of us stopped in our track. We, a whole bunch of people were pointing at it. There were other people running. There was a crowd. As soon as it made itself more apparent, it looked like it was glitching. Not like a computer pixelation, but like a wavy glitch. And whatever maybe was covering them had, unveiled or whatever.
So you got people like that. I feel like he's telling the truth.
What if the aliens dropped something to do like a hologram thing just to see how we would react for them just appearing like that? It was a test.
So that's a theory, and I have a theory for that theory. I have the things that I've heard about it. So I believe around the same day that this happened, there was a what is it called? It was something, because I was hearing about it online. It was something from the sun. I don't want to say necessarily if it was a solar flare, because I don't want to get the wording wrong if I'm not correct, but there was something happening with the sun around this time. And it's been happening, like a lot has been happening to the planet lately that's been kind of amplifying the energy all of a sudden, and then it's kind of going back down so we can acclimate to it, and then it amps up again, and then it kind of goes back down because it's trying to bring us up onto a different level. But it's like around this day there was that type of situation that happened, and I feel like what happened was, I feel like it was aliens. I feel like it was on some like other dimensional shit, like, but not really, like Harry Potter invisibility cloak type shit. Not like I'm in a whole nother dimension, but on some like, because think about it, a lot of stuff, a lot of different beings out there outside of humans can move around without being seen by our physical eyes, in whichever ways that they choose, depending on what you want to get into. But it's like, if all of these things have always been watching over humans or abducting humans or whatever, don't you think that they'd observe them? And if they know that humans are usually hostile, maybe they won't, have a direct interaction with them, but maybe try to observe them as close as possible to actually learn. And in modern day and time, I feel like the easiest way to observe humans without being noticed is in places where humans go to experience the things that humans like, the food, the clothes, you know, so being social with other people, the just different types of interactions that's like malls or concerts or fucking big cities, New York, Vegas, shit like that. They could just be walking around and nobody see them and they just observing people. They're just walking around and all of a sudden it's like the fucking glitch in a power box, just boom, my invisibility cloak went down and it's like, the thing is, it's like people said that they weren't tripping, like they saw these things and these things weren't being aggressive or trying to attack anybody and nothing like that. Like looking at them was scary, but they weren't actually doing nothing. They were just looking around and drifting around and shit like that. Like they, and a lot of people make jokes like they was just sitting there shopping with us type shit, and they just like, what the fuck is wrong with them? They didn't realize that they were being seen. Yeah. So if they're reacting like they're not used to being seen and they being real casual in a public situation, maybe they do this often. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. They was acting real casual. And it's like, or it could be some whole other shit, but still, like, I feel like that's my theory. Like, it was real casual. It was on some, we pop up over here every now and then. They'll never see us anyway. We just watch the people. Yeah. Because I've heard a story before about this old guy. I can't remember his name right now, but it's this old guy. I heard he basically had like life story or whatever. And he was dealing with alien abductions and stuff back and forth throughout his life, but he had ended up in a situation where he was at a mall and he saw this big tall guy that was just like dressed like a regular person, but it was like he was the only one that noticed him for some reason, but he looked normal, but just like a little different. You know, he didn't look like an alien, he just looked like a fucking giant of a man type shit. And it's like he went up to him and he realized that he wasn't human and that he was there to observe, and he felt like, and he was actually there to observe him, and he figured out that he saw him. And he was surprised that he saw him, so he interacted with him. In Miami, you just pop up in that's the city right there. You trying to see what's up? Slide to Miami. In New York, you just gonna get cussed out. Like, slide down to Miami, go to the mall, go to the beach, pop up in the club, can't nobody see you. Like, what? That'd be crazy. And then it's like, if it is like that, imagine if it's like we just sitting right here and we chilling, and then all of a sudden this whole room fade out and it's a room full of aliens screaming and running in the other direction, and we like, what the fuck? Something glitched. Something glitched. I'm gonna say in the same spot. I'll stay right here. It's like I pop right back up where I left off. But no, people said they was transporting around though. Like they would drift a little bit and float, and then they would just like pop up somewhere else. But they weren't being aggressive and nothing. Like they was just, they didn't give a fuck.
They were trying to get it to work. They're like, okay, let's. Oh, it's still not working.
And then there was this video that I saw. You know, everything's on TikTok. I saw a video, and this guy. He didn't live in Miami, but his dad works, he's like a chief or whatever in the police department, or like a sheriff or something. So he got on TikTok and he was like, you know, I'm hearing all this about the alien situation in Miami, but he's like, why haven't I heard about this? Like, I'm seeing it online, but he was like, why haven't I heard about this, you know? He was like, and my dad is like a sheriff in the police department, like, why hasn't he told me about this? So then he FaceTimes his dad on the video, and he's like, hey dad, like, so, you know, I know you probably hearing a lot about the, you know, alien or situation or whatever in Miami, like, what's going on with that? And his dad was like, oh, I'm not supposed to talk about that.
How have I not heard about this? My dad's a police officer in Miami, and I mean, like, he's even running for sheriff, and I just talked to him. He didn't say anything about that. Hey, did you, have you been seeing the alien stuff? Did you see that at Bayside? Are you serious? You're joking. You're joking. Did they tell you not to talk about it?
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
What?
I do know what you're talking about, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Okay, can you at least say like whatever? So okay, so they're saying it's like a fight broke out. Why did they send so many police cars? Are you serious? You can't say any.
I don't know what else you want me to say.
You're no help, dude.
I'm sorry.
What is that?
What can't you talk about?
Exactly. What can you not say? And that's his son. Like, what? Straight shut down. Nobody else is talking about it. Like, apparently somewhere aliens was in Vegas too doing some other shit. Like, I don't know what was going on over there, but I heard it in passing. I don't know what's going on over there.
I'm gonna pop up here soon.
But man, I think it was aliens. I think it was aliens. Because they didn't look like us at all. And anything that doesn't look human and isn't categorized in our little, what's it called, ecology or whatever, like the ecosystem, study of the ecosystem. If it's not categorized in there, it's alien. If we don't know what it is, it's alien. So they're not humans. Then there's the idea of the Project Bluebeam, of it being a projection by the government, and that, you know, it was one of those false flag alien invasion situations. Are you okay?
What's in my eye? But
Also,
why are they doing it? Because it's a test to see how it reacts.
what do you think the point would be to do that?
Because they're about to come.
So you think the government is doing that because actual aliens are about to come? Why? Talk to me a little bit. Talk to me.
I don't know, but I definitely feel like something is coming. Or there's gonna be some kind of change, something. Because for all of a sudden stuff just to start happening like that, no explanation, no nothing.
It's like, but last year, if you recall, there were UFOs flying around close to the ground real slow so people could see them and record them. They wasn't flashing in and out these right over the houses with a jet following behind them, not shooting them down or nothing, you know. And it's like, what is going on? What is going on? Listen, we came up when before cell phones. So it's like, to be here, bro, there's aliens in the mall. But it's like, it's nothing new with aliens. Aliens have been a thing since time has began, honestly, on this planet. Aliens have always been a thing. But it's like, we be so blinded by shit that's like, what the fuck? What am I trying to say? It's like we so distracted. Like, we grow up, we go to school, we go to work, we watch our movies, we get on the internet, we don't look up. And then as soon as it's like, oh, you know, how many times was the world was supposed to end? How many times has a comet been supposed to hit the planet and we die? And how many times is time supposed to stop and the pole's supposed to shift and flip all in 10 seconds and the whole planet just fly off into space? How many times have we been supposed to, like, come on now. People don't believe this shit no more. And then it's like, we watch all these made up aliens and shit on TV, and then we find out in real life that the government has been hiding all this information about aliens. They release all of these documents and then try to say that all of that shit is null and void now because we only releasing shit that we're not working on no more. This is just the beginning of your studies. You want me to believe that you're not working on this shit no more when we can have a new iPhone every 2 months? Where the fuck does technology come from? How do we get flat screen TVs? How do we get Google glasses? How do we get night vision cameras? Never in history has this type of technology existed as far as we know of.
Yeah.
And it's like, every time somebody would come out and say aliens this, aliens that, they're a kook and they're crazy and, you know, they was on drugs, they was drunk that night, it was a bad dream, whatever. But then it's like, when 100 people see aliens, what do you do? I don't think that was the government because of the police response. Because think about the police response when UFOs was flying over the cities. With jets right behind them. Police wasn't riding through everywhere. You didn't hear no alarm, stay inside your home. There's some... No, they let you walk right on to school with your child. Oh, what is that?
Yeah.
But kids fighting in the mall with sticks that turns out to be 3 beings that came out of nowhere has the response of the entire police force in Miami. What the fuck was going on anywhere else in the city? How long was they up there worried about that shit at the mall? Everybody was up there. All of the police cars was up there at the mall. You could have did anything else. It's a free-for-all. It's a free-for-all for like hours. Niggas at the mall for hours, every single police car. What are they gonna do? That's how I know it wasn't the government. They was not prepared for that. They didn't know what to do.
I was gonna say, what do you think it could have been used as a distraction by the government to make us think that it wasn't the government?
No, because what would be the point?
There was something else going on behind the scenes.
Like what? Because it would have came out by now. And the only stuff going on behind the scenes is all the political shit that we're involved in that's overseas and stuff like that that's about to start leaking over here onto our lands. And it's like, causing a public disturbance is not gonna keep control. You know, when you let everybody run in different directions, you can't corral everybody at once. You know, you trying to catch motherfuckers that's darting past you. Let me see your phone. Because y'all don't know how to respond to this situation. When it would have been CIA, military, all of that pulling up, really gating it off. No, nobody's leaving in and out, confiscating all cell phones, everything like that. If they knew something was going down and they knew they needed to go about it a certain way. If they knew that they wanted everybody to see aliens, it would be in the news right now. It would be in the news that everybody saw aliens. If they wanted everybody to see it. Do you agree? Do you think that it was aliens? Or do you think that it was just a ploy? That it was just a hologram? That it was something the government did? That it was a mass delusion? That it was just the kids in the mall shooting guns or fireworks or fighting with sticks or what? I need to know what y'all think. And I need to know what you think.
I think it was aliens.
You think it was aliens?
It might have not been them directly, but they're definitely involved in that somehow.
Alright, thank you guys for watching this little episode, the first episode of my little podcast series where we talked about the Miami mall alien situation. Thanks to my co-host for coming up for my first episode. Alright, do you have any last words?
They're coming.
Period. Alright, so yeah, thank you guys for tuning into this. Let me know all your thoughts below in the comment section. See you on the next video. Bye!